pretty soft win here this evening, able to lead, dictate, and pretty much ran away from the opposition pretty comfortably.
Yeah, that's right. It was a soft win tonight. It's just on Tuesday night I had dinner at Bendigo and Lenny come up and sat next to me and he said I hadn't really had much of a look at the fields and he said I was driving in Graham's race and he hoped to see me here. So the Marr family have been people that have supported us, wherever we stay at their place early on when the Breeders' Crown started. So it's a great honour to win this race named after him.
Yeah, it's a wonderful person who contributed so much to our industry, and as you mentioned, lovely to have a race named in his honour here tonight, and the family and all the supporters of the Marr family here this evening. And this girl, she's very talented, and obviously her career's pretty much still at the infant stage.
Yeah, that's right, Robbie. You know, she's only a baby, so to speak, but you know, next year she's going to be up against the big boys, and I'm sure with even luck she'll acquit herself well.
Congratulations, Greg.
Oh, it's miles will be the Inter-Dominion for us at the moment. I mean, this is fantastic. You know, terrific group of owners here that sort of a pretty new kind of syndicate formed just in recent times with you know, clients of long-standing clients of my partner Jess, her father, his team, you know, with the Dobsons and Storios that have joined, and partnership with a lot of my long-term owners in the Jarvis family. They've joined in together and bought into this horse and bought into another one in recent times. So very special to get a win like this for them, especially for the Jarvis family. They unfortunately lost, Gary lost and Rowan lost their father only last week, and he was a terrific follower of the trots and a great supporter of mine. So special win for them.
Well, this horse here, he's been a bit of a roller coaster. Started off the blaze of glory there at Maryborough, and then you've had a few little ups and downs with him, but certainly there's no denying he's got good talent, and tonight he settled beautifully, trotted well, and when you let him down, he unleashed that customary good sprint that he's got.
Yeah, like he's a relatively inexperienced horse when we took him over. You know, he's 4-year-old, but I think he'd only had 4 or 5 lifetime starts, and yeah, we took a chance on him and took a punt and gave him a go, and yeah, started off really good. Got through, you know, won a couple in quick succession, and you know, started to progress through the grades. And it's only just in recent times we just had a couple of little issues, nothing major, but he just wasn't trotting 100% how we'd like, and thankfully we've been able to work on that over the last couple of starts and got him right when it counted.
I mentioned in the warm-up, Katie was on the job tonight. He was marching all the way through and looked like he was ready to race, and he came out on roller skates.
Yeah, his gate speed's such a huge asset. Like, I don't think he had a lot of it before he came over, but he just runs it here without even asking him, and just makes a big difference. But he's proven he can do it tough as well. So he's just such a great horse to have, and we're so happy we've got him.
He's not showing any signs of stopping, is he?
I'm very wary of it, and in fact at home if he shows any signs of anything, I'm just waiting for him, but he just doesn't. He just keeps just wanting to do his work and does it easy, and while he's going well, you know, we're just going to keep running in these races, and like, you know, as soon as he doesn't, we'll give him a spell, but yeah, like you say, it's tricky giving ones going well a spell sometimes. So he hasn't lightened off. He's not showing any signs that he's getting tired or that he's sour or anything. So been really lucky.
Well, he's in the middle of New Zealand weather, nice cold weather. He's probably thriving on it.
He probably is. He likes the fresh air, unlike me.
No, unlike myself as well, Kate. Well, obviously, as you mentioned, the juggling act, we're into July, into Dominion time in December. So there's a bit of, I know we spoke about this last time, what do you do? But he's just going so well, you don't really want to spell him, do you?
No, we'll probably give him, we'll definitely give him some time off, but it might only be 2 or 3 weeks. It's probably all that he needs. And yeah, scientific vets are saying, you know, these days in scientific evidence that horses don't need long spells, and you can sort of keep them going through the motions but not have to have them right at their top all the time. So that's probably what we'll do with him at some stage, just give him a light break.
Hoping that the barrier draw was in this horse's favour, and it certainly turned out that way. He began beautifully, controlled the race, he travelled strongly, and he was too good for his rivals.
Yeah, that's right. I was extremely happy when the barrier draw came out last week, And to my friends and the ones close to me, I was very bullish. But if it had got beat, it wouldn't have looked silly to them. But yeah, I didn't want to be too bullish. But yeah, I've got a lot of faith in this horse.
He's a lovely horse. He hasn't really put a foot wrong to date. He certainly looks to have a very good future, but a great way to start off Vicbred final night, taking out a Group 1 race, and he looks a much-deserved winner.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's been at the trials and been well educated, and it's a credit to Anton and all the team. And you know, throughout his races, he's never had much luck in the draw, but tonight, when he had the luck in the draw, he was rewarded for it.
Well done, Jason. That was a brave effort by the girl. She had to work pretty hard early. She was certainly softened up, which I thought might make her a bit vulnerable, but to her credit, you're able to skip away before the home turn, and they were coming at you, but she kept fighting hard, and she did enough to get over the line.
Yeah, Robbie, she's it's a real credit to her, really, and the whole team, the effort they put in, Pat and Anton and all the people behind the scenes that, you know, no one sees. It's just an absolute awesome effort, and for this mare now, she's been very handy from day dot, and she was a little bit of a handful early on, but she's obviously done it last year and then done it again tonight, and yeah, didn't get everything her own way, and we sort of took a bit of a catch me if we could tactic from sort of the 300, and thankfully we just hung on.
After that little bit of a burn early, you must have been a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I was. We did get it back to sort of relatively a nice pace, but I sort of was pretty happy that Chris ended up getting in on me back, because his one was pretty keen. So if he had been outside us and sort of kept us rolling, it might have been a different story. So in the end, all's well. But yeah, definitely had to earn it.
She's not an overly big horse, but nice enough to get the job done.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the size of them; it's the fight in them. So she's been a really nice one right through, and obviously done a great job for all the connections involved with her, with Pat and all his team and Anton. They've turned her into a real racehorse, and yeah, she deserved that one.
She's a lovely filly. She's always shown to be above average, and nice to get this big one up tonight.
Yeah, no, too right, Rob. I'd been driving her for the Pangrazios, and they then wanted me to train her for some odd reason. It wasn't going bad when they had it, and so yeah, we've only probably had it 4 or 5 weeks maybe, and had its issues as you saw at Bendigo. But tonight she put it all together, and very satisfying to win for them. Neville's father, Michael, he and his brother had a horse with my dad when I was about 2'6" tall, and one of the best horses that I can remember, Sheffield Thor, many years ago. And no, I feel very happy to win this for them.
Talk us through the race. Just at the start, did she come out a little bit funny?
You've just sort of got to be, I mean, most trotters, you've got to be a little bit cautious for a start, and so I was. So I sort of got beaten a little bit for speed, you know, for the first 50, but then she mustered after that. The 5 horse got up and over racing and made it a bit difficult for me to get to the outside the leader, and then fortunately Kate come along, give me the trail, and was able to remain there until the top of the lane, and yeah, she was good enough to get the job done.
She was lobbed in a nice spot, got a little bit of a cover mid-race, which certainly helped her. And she seems to be a very versatile horse with good credentials.
No, I agree entirely. You know, I mean, she won this edition last year as a 2-year-old in her 3rd start, maybe in a race. Zoomed off the gate, stepped behind the leader, used the sprint lane, and she's she's very honest filly, and as we know, manners get you a long way.
Chris Alford, Chiron, he's been a work in progress to say the least. There's been a roller coaster journey with him. He started favourite in the Vicbred final link last year, and ran way below his best, and here he was tonight when least expected. He's come along as a giant killer.
Yeah, here's a credit to Peter and Anita. You know, they've done a great job with him, and you know, he trots foolproof now, and he only takes one run to come up, and his run at the heat was pretty basic, but tonight he was right on the top of his game, and didn't think we had much hope sort of with a lap to go because they hadn't gone real hard, but things opened up, and he probably should have nearly won a little bit easier, but Claudie's Prince galloped in front of him at the 400 and sort of stopped his momentum and checked him back a bit, but he was still good enough to lift again.
Certainly was. There's been plenty of experimental gear changes on this horse over a period of time, just trying to find what keeps him happy. I'm not sure if everything stays the same to keep him happy, but he's been happy lately.
You know, he has been really good pretty much this whole season, really, and you know, he's won an MO and now he's won a size final, so all onward and upward.
Well done on another beautifully handled drive. He settled in a good spot. Everything was happening in front of you, Gav, and then it sort of kept happening, and then you were the one that joined in late and turned out well.
Yeah, well, that's, as the old adage goes, that's racing. And, yeah, fortunately tonight, come up with the right alley. The horse had been well prepared and, yes, got a lovely run, and he was good enough to get the job done. So, yeah, very pleasing, especially for the McLeans who bred this guy. And, yeah, it's been a great ride for them. He's always shown the above average ability, but his manners let him down early days, but he's really come to hand good now, and yeah, the results are showing.
Yeah, he's always shown a lot of ability, this horse, and as you mentioned, being brought along beautifully by everyone involved. I mean, Scotty Dyer was involved with the horse early days, and now Chris Finozio, and Chris is certainly making a great mark on the industry, Gavin, with his training, and he's such a pleasant person and has learnt a lot from quite a number of people.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, the younger generation nowadays, that's what they got to do. They got to get out there, and I only ever learned off my dad, and in latter years, you know, I had a lot of trainers around me that, and I drove for a lot of great trainers over the years. So, yeah, there's nothing like experience in this caper, I know that.
Tonight, she got the job done. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah, she's been really good all season. You know, Shane and Rachel done a great job with her. She wasn't had a few tricks earlier on, but she's got better and better with racing and a few trials, and just felt really good tonight.
We better let the winning owner give Anthony a bit of a hug and a kiss. We'll catch up with you in a few moments' time. Happy woman, and she is a happy woman, isn't she?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, they've put a lot into the game, and great to get the rewards.
Talk us through the race. Just everything went well at the start.
Yeah, she felt really good up behind the gate, and which has been a bit of an issue with her, but she came out nice. I didn't want to burn too much, but just worked my way across. And then when David Murphy's one galloped, you know, the front was there for me, and after that, she's always travelling beautifully. And
from that point, released the brakes, and she was able to put a little bit of a margin on them.
Yeah, she got away good around the bend. I see a few coming wide, you know, about the 400. So I thought I'll get going and, you know, try to make them catch her. So, but, you know, she held them on well up the straight.
Good on you, Anth. Well done. It got the job done and won well tonight, but at the same time, yeah, didn't have too many good ones chasing it.
No, she certainly has been a bit, hot and cold of late, but, yeah, with no real reason. She's just been a bit of a headache, but she's certainly got a bit of talent when she's right. And tonight she won nice. She probably didn't sprint as good as she usually does, but she did go better again, and I was very happy with her. I was talking to her the whole way, so we behaved ourselves, and it was nice.
Keeping her mind on the job. Barrier 1 at times can be a bit tricky for the trotter, especially when you've got headstrong horses, and but she seemed to be okay.
Yeah, she was good actually. She warmed up nice and quiet, but got a little bit keen before the start. Once she scored up, she was good. She began quite nice, and if she hasn't sort of done anything wrong in the first 50, she's generally really good. So I was happy to be able to hold the front, and then I just had to sort of hope she didn't over race. And she was keen, but she wasn't silly tonight. I've never changed so much gear on a horse as I have on this over the past 2 months. So I think we'll leave this and hopefully we've got it right.
It's a little bit like that with Trot, isn't it? Chiron probably went through the same thing, had that many gear changes, and they've got it right. And it certainly showed tonight. And obviously this girl at the moment, you've got her in a happy spot, so that's important. Where to for this girl from here?
I guess, yeah, she's probably, there's something on Redwood Day, probably the gold bracelet perhaps, heading to that. And then the Breeders' Crown, she's in that. So all going well, that's our plan.
Well done. It was like dodged a bullet for the first 600 or 800 metres. They were all galloping around you, and you were doing your best job to avoid every target that was coming your way.
Yeah, no, there was a few around us, but you expect that in the 2-year-old trots. You know, that's what, 12 months' time, you'll see them. They'll all be trotting pretty safe.
This bloke here, nice type. We've seen him trial here, and he trialled well and went to Maryborough first up. Did a few things wrong there.
Yeah, he just got all excited, got off the front gate, and Emma drove overdrove him, and he couldn't restrain him early. He just wanted to keep running, so or galloping actually. So we took him to the trials Tuesday, and he was a lot better, and he was better tonight again. So yeah, I think he'll develop into a handy horse. Yeah,
he was pretty relaxed, wasn't he, tonight? I watched him in the warm-up, and he sort of was quite happy just flopping behind the mobile off the second road tonight.
Yeah, I think it's more the mobile. Once it takes off, he just, he's only new at the game, and he just thinks he's got to charge out of the gate. So it was probably a really good thing to be off the back road tonight.
Vincent shoots clear now. Is this a star on the rise? Vincent brains them. Vincent by 15. How big was that, Vincent? That was outstanding.
Heaven Rock's tight and better. It's an all-star show in the Auckland Cup, and Vincent too good.